All right, we're out at about 30 yards from the green, Milo. This would be pretty tough. It's actually about, what is it, 45?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
35,
Something
40
in
yards.
that tweener range that you hear a lot of people say to avoid. We're at the Milo Lines Golf School. Do a little pan around. So we got the group out here. And one thing I wanted to talk about, Milo, is that we've hit probably 1,200 stage 1 and stage 2 style shots each. How is this different from those things, or what are the, because those, they kind of land and roll. These, we want to have some spin and some stopping power on it to.
Well, we're hitting a different club.
Okay, yeah.
So I've got a lob wedge, a 60-degree wedge, but the technique's going to be fairly similar depending on the flight I want. So if I wanted to hit a higher, softer flight, then my swing is going to be a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
More follow through, more up.
Yeah.
If I wanted to hit a driving low flight, then my swing will be short and cut off.
If you have all options available to you, what's your preference?
I generally like the lower one.
Let's see that, just to maybe like where the back ball is.
Yeah, the tempo will be a little different. Yeah, so if I'm hitting a high floater, if I'm making a swing that's this big, it's going to be big and slow. If I'm hitting the low one, it's going to be a little
more brisk.
Quicker. Yep.
Yeah.
So where did you want the ball to end up?
The ball in the right.
So kind of in the back there?
Yeah.
So I'll try to land it just on the green. Just a little far.
Yeah, like.
But that was the idea.
12 feet. So what are the basics of doing this really good and having control over where you put the ball?
The basics are, we have to have good low point control, so we're not really digging into the ground. So we have a pretty constant radius. And then it's just managing the size and the pace of the swing. That's really all it comes down to. So you just have to be able to manage how much energy you're putting into it or not putting into it. And I like to keep the tempo kind of constant.
So where do you have it in the stance, Milo? And then also talk about like...
So my ball position, my stance is pretty narrow.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to tell exactly where. It's probably just a little inside my left foot, which appears slightly back in the stance.
Yeah.
My stance is probably just slightly open. So yeah, I would say it's just inside left foot, slightly back in the stance, and my stance is slightly open.
Yeah, that's stock. That was good. So the higher one is like softer.
So if I wanted the ball
smoother,
not to skip on the first bounce, I would hit a little softer one. So I'm going to just make the swing.
But it's not going further in your stance or more open?
It'll be a little more forward in my stance, probably.
Bit, yeah.
Just a little more forward. My stance will be a little less open.
Oh yeah.
And the motion's just bigger.
Really shallow into it.
Maybe I should do that more often because it went really close.
Yeah, it was muffled. It was like the Nicholson kind of thing where it's
it was almost like
this way.
flung.
Yeah.
Yeah, I skidded into it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it depends on the turf too, if you're able to.
Milo, beyond fundamentals and kind of basics, like for people watching at home, what's a good way if they really want to get good at these tweener yardages? Like, what's a good drill, or maybe what do you have your really good players do to get better at this?
Well, we
zone?
Set up like ladders where they have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards. Cones. If you come out to the golf course, you'll see a lot of the LPGA Tour players have these little cones, and they'll set them out in 10-yard increments or even 5-yard increments, and they try to hit them.
Okay.
And they randomize it, so they don't just sit and hit the same shot over and over again.
So what do you want to say? Just hit one?
I want to see the stock one, just kind of a low.
Okay.
That was good.
Oh, okay, it actually stopped with the range ball. That was good. All right, now the higher one. So then it's going to feel slower, more patient.
And bigger, more follow through.
See, that's what I always do.
You sped up.
Oh, okay. More patient on the way down.
Yeah, it's like you went and you sped the club up. Let the club just move at a. Try to keep the radius wider. Don't let it be so soupy.
That's pretty usual. Like.
So you like to hit the thinny.
I don't like to, but I sure do.
Don't be afraid of actually letting the golf club hit the ground.
Yeah, like if I wanted to make for sure to hit it nice, I'd be brisk and shorter. You know, that bigger motion, it's like you lose the face a little bit.
Feel like you're letting the weight of the club out, or letting the angles out a little bit. There you go.
Okay, gotcha.
There we go.
Yeah, that was good.
Now you got the higher, softer one. I actually slid the club into the ball. Yeah, so the trailing edge of the club, the bounce, actually was skidding on the grass. Yeah, that one sounded right. Hear the sound of that? Almost a little ground first.
Yeah, kind of. It feels a little bit to me, a little bit of a casting here.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of dragging it through.
So you're just letting the energy get away. You're letting it out.
Yeah.
If you create lag, now you've got too much speed.
Right.
And you don't have enough time to let it out.
Can we see you give Tori a little bit of a lesson on it? Move over here, Mike.
Uh-oh, the pressure is on Tori.
Well, she's the influencer, so we have to influence some people.
Okay, so let me watch you for a second first. Just hit a couple.
That was nice.
So the first thing I see is I would probably narrow your stance a little bit for this shot.
So for the stock one, Milo, is that higher than you're thinking?
That's probably higher than what most players would hit, but not a lot, not bad. Just depends on what you're trying to do.
Well, and yeah, I guess it's a 58. I mean, I could, if I were to try and go lower, I'd kind of try and de-loft it a little bit.
Let's see you hit a little low one. And
That was nice.
she did a good job. I would probably have you hit a lot of that one just to get used to feeling the angles held a little bit more and trapping it on the face a little bit more. You're pretty good at the high one already. It's your defense and your offense in golf, your little wedge play. So when you hit great drives, you get a lot of these for, you're going to give yourself a chance for birdie, right? When you hit a bad drive and you're in the woods, or you hit not a great drive, you pitch it out to this point in space and you wedge it close. So it's both defense and offense.
Right.
Also, the skills needed to be able to hit this shot translate directly to your golf swing. I rarely find somebody who has a very nice pitching motion that also doesn't hit the ball pretty well.
Let's see one more, one of those lower ones, Tori.
I didn't really give her a lesson, I just watched her. You know, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not taking credit for something that already showed up good. That one just...
I probably just didn't hold it down.
Yeah, it just rolled up the face a little bit. You gave it a little of that.
Yeah. Okay.
I would have her hit a lot of them out of the middle of her stance.
That was great.
Yep.
So you weren't as down. Your attack angle was more level at the ball.
Okay.
When you had it back and you're trying to hit it low, your attack angle is too much down.
Okay. I got a little risky with that one again.
And the flight jumped up a little bit, but it's still good.
Still on the green.
And it was a shallow bottom
Yeah.
of the arc there, which I like to see. That's my main thing, is I want to see the bottom of the arc, not really steep. You should be able to hit behind it and hit a good shot still.
So Milo, do that for us, where you, because I've seen some players do this, where you kind of hit it fat on purpose, but it's still good impact. You know the
Yeah. So like a little one where I slide into it.
Yeah. So we would hear blades of grass click, and then
Yeah.
thud. Yeah, like that.
Like that.
Yeah, that was perfect.
That one was perfect. Yeah, that's...
It's like Parker, who I was with, says it's called a professional drop kick. He's trying to get guys to hit that.
That's what the pros actually hit most of their little pitches around the green like that. No, anything that we have no speed in our swing, so like you should be able to drop kick it. It's a good test of your skills. So if you can slide the club into the ball like that and hit a little drop kick and hit it solid, good
I
shot.
only say that because I do hear that sound a lot with these shots, and
Yeah.
I think, oh, I didn't hit it that well, but it still is fun.
It's actually desirable. So
It shows that you have like a U bottom and not a V bottom?
yes.
Okay,
So if the bottom of the arc is pretty shallow and flat, then you should be able to get away with mishits. And that's the whole goal. We want to be able to not hit it perfect and still hit it well. So those actually aren't hit perfect, but they're still good.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to continue on with the school and fan everybody else out. If you're interested in learning more about what Milo has going on, go to milolinesgolf.com and use the promo code BeBetterMilo. There is a discount for Be Better golfers there, and also follow him on YouTube here as well, and hit the subscribe button on this channel. Thanks for watching.